Weighing in at 526 grams with an effective megapixel density of 26.1 and sensor resolution of 6240 by 2160 is our first contender, the Fujifilm XD Var. And weighing in at 387 grams with a 24.1 megapixel, 6000 by 4000 resolution sensor, our second contender, the Canon M50. Fight! Today we're comparing the Fuji XT4 to the Canon M50 for photography. And when you take the video specs out of your brains, you actually might be surprised at how similar these cameras are on paper. And don't you worry, child, we have a whole herd of hands-on tests coming right up. Both of these cameras have APS-C sensors with the ability to shoot RAW photos. The M50 shoots 14-bit RAW photos with a crop of 1.6, while the XT4 shoots 16-bit RAW photos with a crop of 1.5 compared to full frame. They both have electronic viewfinders, articulating touchscreens, and phase detection autofocus. So yeah, the specs are lining up pretty dang well, but specs aren't important if the cameras don't perform well in the field. So let's go to a field, or a waterfall. We have the Canon M50 and the Fuji XT4 by these beautiful falls, and we're gonna put the Sigma 18-35 on both, which is a little bit weird because it's not a native lens for either camera system, but we have adapters and they're not speed boosters, so it's just the lens directly to the sensor, and there's no pro mist or anything like that, just the lens straight up. We're gonna do some photo comparisons, so Lauren will take a photo with M50, we'll pull the lens off, put it on the XT4. Everything's shot in RAW at the highest capability of each camera. So what did we learn from this waterfall shoot? Well, first of all, the XT4 has a significantly nicer screen than the M50, especially when you're using it outdoors. And before you say, just use the EVF bro, it's professional, I know for a fact there are a ton of photographers out there who use the beautiful tilt screen. It's a wonderful creation, so stop judging. As of September 2020, the XT4 is nearly triple the price of the Canon M50, so it better have some nicer features and some better build quality. And it does. Holding the XT4 in the hand just feels good. The grip is deep and the body of the camera is appropriately sized with a firm, rugged texture on it. And the M50 is noticeably smaller, but the build quality does hold up. And it makes sense why I've been seeing countless comments from people saying they've been rocking the M50 for over 2 years now. It's a really well-made camera. Sure, the body is small, but this actually might be an advantage for a lot of people. It's really easy to carry with you or take on a trip, especially if you're using small lenses, unlike me. And as you can tell, both cameras shoot really nice photos, so you can click away from the video. But you'd miss the big fight. Have you seen my body? It's bigger, it's beefier, and it looks kind of vintage. Well, have you heard the story of David and Goliath? We're cameras, we don't know the Bible. Well, I'm cheaper and I still look pretty. I'm gonna kick your lens mount. So we're out in beautiful nature. I'm with my roommate here. You're gonna see him in more and more videos because he's my hot model. And we're gonna just test the XT4 and the M50 in a bunch of different photo situations. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. So the first thing we're gonna do is put the cameras on a tripod and just run through all the different color profiles that you can get in JPEG. From an image quality perspective, you really can get great and similar results from these two cameras while shooting in RAW. Where I feel the XT4 has a major leg up is in the usability. You get a bigger battery for longer shooting, dual SD card slots, better EVF with 3.6 million dots versus the M50's 2.3 million, a much better screen, more phase detection autofocus points, 425 versus the M50's 99, and 15 frames per second burst mode in RAW versus the M50's 10. But if you don't need all those higher end features, the M50 is absolutely a capable photo camera and much more affordable. I told you, stronger than I look. I'll give it to you, kid. You hit pretty hard for having such a small battery. Hey, I hit pretty hard too. Who said that? Is that you, old man? It's me, XT3. I'm basically you, but cheaper. I have a smaller battery and no IBIS. But my photos still look really good. Guys, we can all get along. Besides, there are plenty of people who want to buy each of us using the affiliate links in the description. Buy me. Yeah, you should buy me. Buy me too, I'm still pretty good. Have you heard of Gear Focus? No? Well, it's amazing. Let me tell you about it. Gear Focus is an online marketplace where you can buy and sell used camera gear. And if you're like me and you've sold gear in the past on eBay, you know that they take a hefty chunk of your earnings, and it's frustrating. Luckily, Gear Focus only takes 3.5%, and their customer service is genuinely top-notch. Back when Dave had a bunch of camera gear stolen from him, Gear Focus actually reached out and provided him with the M50 that you're seeing in this video. That's the kind of company that they are, and it's really awesome. Also, I'm not telling you to go ask them for free stuff. Please don't do that. So if you're looking into cameras and you want to snag a used one or sell some gear that you don't use anymore, look no further than Gear Focus. Now let's get back to my final thoughts on the Canon M50 versus the XT4 for photography. There are so many great options for cameras nowadays, both for photo and video. We really are lucky in 2020, aside from the other stuff. The M50 is a great first camera and can even dip into that professional world a little bit, whereas the XT4 and even the XT3 are amazing APS-C workhorse cameras. No matter what you shoot with, remember to have fun creating. Also, subscribe to Kinotika, subscribe to my personal channel. Have a great week, and I'll see you real soon. Did you subscribe yet? I know I would. To both Kinotika and my personal channel. So, let's do the thing that's important here. Let's hit the red sub button. Don't worry about the bell, let's just sub. Have a good one.